Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at something, well, pretty fundamental to how we all live, but maybe don't think about too often.
Until the lights go out.
Exactly. Home electricity. We're digging into a local DFW contractor, AT Electric LLC, looking at what they offer and how they operate.
Right, and our goal here isn't just to review one company, it's more about using them as a lens, to understand best practices in home electrical safety modernization, especially relevant in DFW with its mix of old and new homes and that crazy weather.
Good point. So, yeah, we're using this company to kind of unpack what value looks like in this market, thinking about upgrades, safety, even getting ready for things like EVs.
Okay, let's jump in.
So the basics. AT Electric is family-owned, started up in 2019. But, and this caught my eye, they claim over 25 years of industry experience.
Yeah, that 2019 versus 25 years thing. It usually signals something specific.
Look at that.
It means you likely have seasoned pros, maybe the owner, Al, or key technicians, bringing decades of real-world experience into this newer business structure.
Ah, okay. So not rookies learning the ropes.
Precisely. It suggests deep industry knowledge, code familiarity, that kind of thing, combined with, hopefully, the attention to detail you expect from a family business.
They do emphasize that personal touch, treating customers with care. But here's a question for me. They're based in Mansfield, but serve the entire DFW Metroplex. Fort Worth, Dallas, the whole sprawl.
Right.
How does a family-run operation realistically maintain that personal connection across such a massive area? Seems like it could be tough logistically.
That's a fair point. It raises questions about scale, for sure. My read on it, based on the materials, is they likely manage it by having that Mansfield location as their core operational hub.
Servicing the nearby areas like Arlington, Grand Prairie, Burleson, maybe more intensively?
Exactly. Those communities within roughly 20 miles are probably their bread and butter. For the wider DFW area, efficiency becomes paramount.
So the family touch might translate more into how they communicate, like clear pricing, sticking to schedules.
Yes, transparency, reliability. Their stated mission focuses on safety and efficiency. You need that efficiency to cover a large territory without dropping the ball or, letting the customer experience slide.
Okay, that makes sense. And their bigger vision. They want to be the go-to provider in the community, known for quality work, innovation, and crucially, safety.
And that safety focus, it's not just marketing fluff. Think about the housing stock in DFW. Lots of homes from the 70s, 80s.
Right, potentially with older wiring systems.
Exactly. So adhering strictly to the latest codes, prioritizing safety upgrades, that becomes a major differentiator, not just a baseline requirement. It's about securing those older properties.
Let's pin down the geography a bit more before we get into the services. Their main office is in Mansfield, 7920 Rodeo Trail. You mentioned Mansfield itself. The sources describe it as vibrant, growing fast, good schools, safe neighborhoods.
Yeah, that context matters. It tells you about their primary customer base, likely homeowners in established suburbs, people who value safety, maybe looking to modernize their homes.
So not just flipping houses or brand new builds, but dealing with existing infrastructure.
Very likely. Helping long-term residents upgrade their systems as their needs change or as the house ages. That Mansfield base puts them right in the heart of that kind of suburban demand, even while they reach out across the wider DFW area.
Okay, let's get into the services, the real nuts and bolts. Seems like we can group their work into maybe three main buckets. First up, system reliability and safety.
Foundational stuff.
The top of the list is electrical panel upgrades. Why is this such a big deal, especially now for homeowners around here?
Okay, the panel, the breaker box, it's basically the control center for your whole electrical system. Upgrading it addresses three key things: fire risk, code compliance, and just sheer capacity.
Capacity is a big one, right, with everything we plug in these days.
Huge. Older panels, say from 30, 40 years ago, were never designed for the load modern homes put on them. Multiple air conditioners, big TVs, computers, maybe an EV charger down the line.
Induction cooktops, all that.
Right. When those old boxes get overloaded, they can overheat. That's a serious fire hazard. So upgrading to a modern, often fire-resistant panel, it's about safety and just ensuring you have reliable power without tripping breakers constantly.
Makes sense. Tied into that, they offer whole home surge protection. Now, most of us have those little power strips, but this is different.
Totally different ballgame. Those strips only protect whatever's plugged directly into them, and frankly, their protection level can be pretty minimal.
So what does the whole home system do?
It gets installed right at the main breaker panel. It acts like a gatekeeper, stopping those big, damaging voltage spikes like from lightning strikes or grid issues before they can even get into your house's wiring.
Protecting everything connected. Appliances, computers, the HVAC system.
Everything. Considering DFW weather, thunderstorms, potential grid fluctuations, it's probably one of the smartest, relatively inexpensive investments you can make to protect thousands of dollars worth of electronics and appliances. Cheap insurance, really.
And they also mention general circuit work, like installing GFCI outlets. Seems minor, but important.
Very important. GFCI's ground fault circuit interrupters are those outlets with the little test and reset buttons. They're required by code in wet areas, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, outdoors.
Because they prevent shocks.
Exactly. They detect tiny imbalances in the current, indicating a ground fault, and shut off the power instantly. It's a lifesaver, literally. Handling these details shows they're focused on comprehensive safety, not just the big, flashy projects.
Okay, moving to the second category, efficiency and lighting. They talk about indoor and outdoor lighting having a dual benefit. Looks good and makes things safer.
Yeah, the safety aspect outdoors is pretty clear. Good lighting deters potential intruders and, just helps you avoid tripping on the sidewalk at night. Simple, but effective.
But the real focus seems to be on LED lighting. They push that hard.
Yeah.
Why? Beyond just saving money on the electric bill.
Well, the energy savings are significant, for sure. LEDs use way less power, but the safety angle they emphasize comes down to heat. Yeah. Old-style incandescent bulbs waste a ton of energy as heat. Over time, that heat can degrade wiring insulation, make fixtures brittle, especially in older homes. It's a low-level but persistent fire risk.
And LEDs run cooler.
Much cooler. They're more efficient, so less energy is wasted as heat. Plus, they last incredibly long. The sources say up to 25 times longer than incandescents.
Wow, so fewer bulb changes, lower fire risk, and lower bills.
It's kind of a win-win-win. Reduces maintenance, saves money, and adds a layer of safety.
And they seem to handle a range of LED installs, not just swapping bulbs.
Right. They mention things like installing LED ceiling lights, recessed lighting, which gives that modern look, and even smart LED systems.
Smart systems,
Yeah.
like controlling brightness and color from your phone.
Exactly. That shows they're keeping up with current tech. It's not just about basic wiring anymore. It's about integrating these newer, low-voltage control systems that people want for convenience and ambiance.
Okay, that brings us to the third bucket, specialized and sort of modernization work, stuff that shows they're tackling newer demands.
Yeah, this is where you see if a contractor is just maintaining the old ways or actually helping homeowners future-proof.
First up, underground electric work. What's that typically for?
Bringing power safely to outdoor structures. Think sheds, detached garages, maybe a fancy outdoor kitchen, landscape lighting, even RV power hookups.
And doing it underground is important for safety and looks, right? You can't just string an extension cord across the yard.
Definitely not. Burying electrical lines properly involves strict codes, specific depths, using the right kind of conduit to protect the wires from moisture, digging, landscaping activities down the road.
If you hit a buried line, that could be bad.
Extremely dangerous. Doing it right keeps the power reliable and the yard safe. No trip hazards, no exposed wires.
Makes sense. The other big modern service they list is EV charger installation. That feels crucial now.
Absolutely essential. As electric vehicles become more common, especially in suburban areas like Mansfield and Arlington, homeowners need reliable fast charging at home.
And that's not just plugging into a regular wall outlet.
You can use a standard outlet, level 1 charging, but it's incredibly slow, like days to charge. A proper level 2 charger, which is what most people want, needs a dedicated higher voltage circuit run directly from the panel.
Often requiring a panel upgrade first, maybe?
Often, yes, especially in older homes.
Right.
The electrician needs to ensure the panel can handle the load, install the right wiring and breaker, and make sure the charger itself is installed safely and is compatible with the customer's vehicle. Offering this service shows they're tuned into current and future homeowner needs.
Good point. They also mention handling smaller but still specialized jobs, like installing chandeliers or ceiling fans.
Right, which is good to see. It means they're not just focused on the big ticket upgrades, but they'll handle those smaller projects too, full service.
So if we try to wrap up their whole value proposition, what are the key takeaways?
It seems to be built on that foundation of deep experience, the 25-plus years, but delivered through a family-owned model that prioritizes safety above all else.
And offering a full range of services, from basic repairs to modern installations like EV chargers.
Correct. Plus, that commitment to free quotes and honest pricing. In a market like DFW, where costs can vary wildly, that transparency is a big deal for building trust.
And it looks like customer feedback backs this up. We have a few anecdotes here.
Yeah, those are often telling. What do they say?
Well, Michael Kim mentions fast, prompt service, and specifically notes that Al, the owner, came out himself for a second visit.
Okay, so that reinforces the owner involvement and responsiveness idea we talked about. The family touch isn't just a phrase.
Then Susanna Williams praised the affordability and speed for a backyard project. She called Al and his crew a blessing for getting it done quickly.
Nice. That speaks to the efficiency piece, especially for potentially complex outdoor work, getting it done fast and at a fair price.
And finally, Danny Rowe highlights Al's professionalism and knowledge, but also mentions an Alberto diagnosing and fixing a tricky issue with a fair bill.
Ah, Alberto. So it confirms the expertise isn't just with the owner, it's within the team. And again, that fair pricing comes up, seems consistent. They diagnose, fix, and charge reasonably.
So putting it all together, it sounds like a company that's well attuned to the needs of DFW homeowners, dealing with older infrastructure, wanting modern conveniences, and prioritizing safety.
And they're available during standard business hours plus Saturdays, which is handy. Contact info is out there, 682-582-5500.
Okay, let's tie this back to the listener. What have we really learned here beyond the specifics of AT Electric?
I think the key takeaway for you is understanding what constitutes a truly robust electrical foundation in today's world. It's not just about keeping the lights on.
It's proactive.
Exactly. It's about proactively mitigating risks, fire hazards from old panels, appliance damage from surges, especially in a place like North Texas. And it's about preparing your home for future demands, whether that's more high-draw appliances or an electric vehicle. A good local contractor is that bridge between your current setup and where you need to be.
So the bottom line seems to be, a safe, modern electrical system relies on following the codes, having enough capacity, and anticipating those future needs.
Couldn't have said it better.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe something for you listening to consider. We've talked a lot about panel upgrades and surge protection as reactions to problems or preparation for big additions like EVs. But given the emphasis on safety, on preventing fires, on protecting expensive equipment, how often should homeowners think about getting a comprehensive electrical system safety audit? Even if nothing seems obviously wrong, even if your breakers aren't tripping all the time.
That's a really good question.
Could that kind of proactive checkup be one of the smartest, maybe most overlooked investments you make in your home's safety and longevity this year? Something to think about.